welcome to the Township Committee meeting of July 10th, 2018. Ms. Bork, will you please call the roll?
Committeeman Bichette. Committeeman Delacroix.
Here.
Committeeman Sarachi.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Thompson.
Here.
Mayor McCauley. Here. Administrator Ferrara.
Here.
And Attorney Wilner.
Here.
Please join me in a salute to the flag.
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be advised in accordance with Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231 of the Public Law of 1975, that the notice of this meeting was made by the posting on the bulletin board here at Hillsborough Township Municipal Complex, and notifying the officially designated newspapers that this meeting would take place tonight, 7:30 p.m., July 10th, 2018. First this evening is approval of minutes of June 12th, 2018 regular session minutes. May I have a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any comments on the meeting minutes this tonight?
Nope.
No? Okay. Any comments from the floor? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Committeeman Delacroix.
Yes.
Excuse me. Committeeman Sarachi.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Thompson.
Yes.
Mayor McCauley.
Yes. And reports tonight from committee liaisons, receipt of reports, petitions, or communications. And first this evening, Committeeman Delcourt.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I want to acknowledge a couple of events that I was able to attend the last couple weeks. Not on?
It's on, but
Had the opportunity to attend the opening of the All-American Assisted Living Facility. That's a new one on Route 206, right at the bed near Old Somerville Road. It's interesting that they do have a memory center as well for Alzheimer's patients. So I know it was something that was a number of residents had come to us looking for getting that opening, and it was nice to get over there. It's a beautiful facility. We certainly wish them well as a business here in town, and it was nice to get over there and see the number of people they had for their grand opening. And also had the opportunity to attend the grand opening of the conference center, the new conference center that's over at the Camp DeWitt, which is the Girl Scout camp over on Montgomery Road. It's a site where they actually had a fire and burned down one of their buildings 7 or 8 years ago at this point. And they finally were able to reopen their conference center. Really beautiful facility to be used for both the Girl Scout events, where they do have the camp over there, which they started this week, but also to have other events there in the building. So it was nice to get over there. We certainly wish them well also, and I know they're going to have tremendous events over there at Camp DeWitt. A couple of events that we have coming up in town I want to make sure everyone's aware of. For those of you that aren't aware, Hillsborough a number of years ago was recognized, one of the first in the state to be recognized as a Purple Heart community. And on August the 7th, that's a Tuesday night at 6 p.m. in the Garden of Honor, we'll have our annual Purple Heart ceremony. The ceremony will begin at 6 p.m., rain or shine, and we'll have light refreshments to follow. We are very honored to be able to host a significant commemoration ceremony in honor of the Military Order of the Purple Heart, and we welcome all Hillsborough residents to attend the ceremony. And from the Health Department, the last couple days we've had really some beautiful weather, lovely sunshine, but of course that does lead to concerns about making sure that people are using sunscreen. So we've got at our Health Department, they have great information regarding the harmful effects of the sun, making sure people are using sunscreen, and getting themselves checked out at a dermatologist if they have something that it looks like a change in color on a mole or something on their skin. So if you have any questions or would like to learn more about the effects of the sun and sun exposure, you can either reach out to our health department or you can reach out to the CDC website at cdc.gov/cancer /skin/index, and it'll tell you what to look for there. Finally, just to save the date, we have our annual camp out and fishing derby is going to be held Friday and Saturday, August 3rd and 4th. Always a fun event in town that's held at Ann Van Middlesworth Park. On Friday evening is the fishing derby, and then we have a barbecue. There's always events for the kids. People camp out, put their get their tents up. We'll have s'mores, bonfire, the whole 9 yards. It's always a fun event, and if you're interested in attending, please reach out to the Recreation Department. We'd like to know, get a count for the food that we'll be providing, and there is a small fee that for the food and breakfast the next day. That's it, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Committeeman Sirachi.
Thank you, Mayor. A few items this evening. First, I would like to just recognize Police Sergeant Rick Evans, who recently graduated from the FBI National Academy. There were 232 law enforcement officers graduating on June 8th from the Academy in Virginia. This was the 272nd session of the National Academy, consisting of law enforcement men and women from 48 states. Included in the class are members from law enforcement agencies from District of Columbia and also 25 international countries, 5 military organizations, and 7 federal civilian organizations. So again, congratulations to Sergeant Evans, because it was something, I think he was away for about 2 months for that.
Actually,
3?
3 months.
It was 3 months. So bringing back some of those, the new techniques and procedures back to us. So very worthwhile time spent. And also, just in case you missed it, this afternoon we had Coffee with the Cop at Starbucks, where residents were served at our local Starbucks. So there will be some future events around town such as this, so please be a lookout for that in a future e-newsletter. And then from the EBDC, the Hillsborough Economic and Business Development Commission, along with the Somerset County Business Partnership, will be hosting a business social on Thursday, June 31st from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Highlander Pavilion at Roycebrook Golf Club. Price of admissions, $20.50, and that will include food and drinks and a dessert station. And there will be a host, special guest speaker there. You can learn more about the agenda at their website, which is hillsborobusiness.org. And another item coming from the EBDC, going to kick off the inaugural Restaurant Week initiative to promote Hillsborough's restaurants. So any food establishments that are interested in participating, please reach out to our business advocate, David Coyce. And the event will be run Tuesday, August 21st through Sunday, August 27th. And then this Friday, if you happen to be in the building and you're looking to get to one of the municipal offices and find no one is there, that's because they've been relocated to the Senior Activities Center this Friday, because there are some air conditioning unit replacements that are being replaced, and it's not a good idea to be in that office when they're lifting one of these units with a big crane for safety purposes. But more details and a reminder will go out via our Swift Reach 911 system. And then last, from our Department of Public Works, the Central Jersey Stream Team is organizing a river cleanup. It's at the lower end of the, or will be at the lower end of the South Branch River on July 22nd. Anyone that's interested in volunteering, you're encouraged to please contact Jens Rydell of the Central Jersey Stream Team via their Facebook page, where again you'll find additional details on that event. And that's all I have this evening, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Thompson.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple things. One, I just want to congratulate the Learning Experience on their grand opening. I was able to attend that 2 weeks ago. And also Nail Spa and Beyond, which just opened up over by Kohl's. So just want to congratulate both those new businesses, one new business and one grand reopening due to new ownership. So congratulations, and look forward to having them in town for years to come. From our finance department, the third quarter estimated tax bills are being mailed tomorrow, July 11th. This bill only reflects the amount due for third quarter until the township receives the certified tax rate from the county. If you earned a Shop Hillsborough credit, which I hope you did, this bill will reflect that reduction. Please be aware that the estimated tax bill is a single sheet that is pink and white, and the payment is due no later than August 10th. Also, the Hillsborough Music Festival is back and will be held on Saturday, August 4th from noon until 8 p.m. at the Hillsborough Promenade, again, over by the Lowe's and Kohl's parking lot, at 315 U.S. Route 206. This is a great community event to benefit both Borough Safe and the Jonah Johnson Youth Scholarship Fund. The Hillsborough Music Festival will feature outstanding and diverse local bands, solo artists, food, vendors, and children's activities. Since 2010, the festival has raised funds for the youth suicide prevention through outreach, education, and mental health awareness programs. This is a family-friendly outdoor festival dedicated to saving the lives of our children, and we invite local businesses, sponsors, and community members to come and enjoy the day. There's lots of opportunities to get involved that day, and you can learn more by visiting hillsboromusicfestival.org. Again, hillsboromusicfestival.org. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. A few things for me this evening. I just want to mention what a great night June 30th was. That was the night of our independence celebration. I'm sorry I personally had to miss it. I think it's the first one in 12 years I've missed. Had a family obligation, but it was a hot one. I know Deputy Mayor Thompson, I believe Commitment Srirachi were there, and attendance from our other staff members. Wanted to say thank you to the Parks and Rec Department and our Department of Public Works, to the Police Department, all the volunteer firefighters, our Office of Emergency Management, who sets up to make sure everyone is cool and safe, and all of the management and the work that goes into it, all the vendors. And Robert Wood Johnson as well, who was there to ensure the safety of our residents and those who do come and visit. So it was a wonderful event, looking forward to next year, and thank you to everyone who participates for a safe and successful event. Thank you to Dev Yoga for the invitation to acknowledge the 4th International Day of Yoga on June 21st. This day was organized to bring awareness to the benefits of yoga. They commemorate the 4th International Day of Yoga, a day set aside to spread health awareness and improve health. So they invited me to participate that day. I couldn't make it, but they did visit us and explained what the program meant, and it is a national day of celebration. So it was quite an event they put on at their place. So I wanted to say thank you to them. Don't forget to attend this Friday night. Hillsborough Night is at Somerset Patriots. Deputy Mayor Thompson is going to take my place and throw out the first pitch, so he will kick off the festivities. He'll do a much better job at throwing out the first pitch than I will, so thank you for that. So looking forward to that night, and if you are free Friday night, come out and join us for Hillsborough Night, Somerset Patriots. As always, you can stay connected with all of our events and more via Friday e-newsletter and Twitter. TV 29 and Hillsborough YouTube channel showcase our meetings in Hillsborough The Good Life episodes. Swift Reach 911 for traffic and emergency situations. If you have not signed up, they are very helpful, especially as we noted earlier, for events throughout town and traffic conditions. So that's it for me this evening. We're going to move on to our proclamations this evening. We ask that after you receive your recognition, please be seated, and we will pause, a slight pause afterwards, so you can all depart if you would so choose at that time.
Mayor, before you go down to proclamations, I just have one quick announcement to make, if
Okay.
that's acceptable. You can all turn around. Tomorrow is Mayor McCauley's birthday, so I think
I
a
did not
nice,
expect But
a
thank you
nice,
very much. If there's no candles for you to blow out, though, no wishes to make, but I'll pretend.
well, we could pretend to sing, but I don't want to break any windows, so.
I insist. Does anybody want to sing for me? I don't know.
Have a wonderful
I
birthday.
might have some volunteers out there that might do that. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that from everyone. Now we're moving on to our proclamations this evening. So, I think, Doug, you're coming down with me?
Yes.
He'll do the Eagle Scouts, you do the wrestlers, but do tax.
Jack Cummings, come on up. I know. How are you?
Good, how are you?
In the middle. Yeah. Jack Cummings, a sophomore at Hillsborough High School and a member of Boy Scout Troop 186, has recently earned his status of Eagle Scout. Jack's Eagle Scout project consisted of constructing a bocce court for Brookdale Senior Living. The project took over 150 hours to complete and with the assistance of 18 other people over the course of 4 days. The cost of the project was $1,035, which Jack raised by baking and selling cookies, in addition to receiving donations from Agway, Opdyke Lumber, Lowe's, and Central Jersey Nurseries. Jack served as Assistant Senior Patrol Leader, Historian, Librarian, Troop Guide, Den Chief, Quartermaster, Patrol Leader, and Assistant Patrol Leader. He is a member of the Order of the Arrow and Boy Scout Honor Society. He has a second-degree black belt and teaches Taekwondo to children at ATA Legacy Martial Arts. Jack also volunteers at Brookdale Senior Living, Toys for Tots, and the Hillsborough Food Bank. We extend our sincere congratulations to Jack Cummings for having achieved the status of Eagle Scout, an honor for both him and those who have guided him, with best wishes for a bright future. Congratulations. You make it sound so tiring.
I just have a couple of thanks I would like to give. I would like to thank my family for supporting me throughout the whole journey. It was a long one, and I definitely could not have done it without them. And I would like to thank my troop for being there for me for every meeting, to help me get through the requirements, and also helping me with my Eagle project. And I couldn't have done it without either of you, so thank you.
All in? Yep. Okay, good, good, good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Jacob Miller. Come on up. How are you? Operators, aren't you? Jacob Dylan Miller, a senior at Hillsborough High School and a member of Boy Scout Troop 186, has recently earned his status of Eagle Scout. Jacob's Eagle Scout project consisted of restoring the planting islands at Mother Mary of God Church. He removed dead trees, planted rose bushes, ornamental grasses, and black-eyed Susans, as well as mulching the areas. The project took about 230 hours with the help of 33 volunteers. Jacob served as quartermaster and senior patrol leader. He is a member of the Order of the Arrow and is an active member of the youth group at Mother Mary of God and an honor roll student. Jacob serves as an example to the youth of Hillsborough Township through his high-level leadership and community service, and we are very proud that he is a member of our community. The Township Committee extends our sincere congratulations to Jacob Dylan Miller for having achieved the status of Eagle Scout, an honor for both him and those who have guided him, with best wishes for a bright future. Congratulations.
Sure. So I'd like to thank Troop 186 for your support and your friendship over the last couple of years. I'd like to thank Mr. and Mrs. Bird for everything they've done for me and my family, my friends, Mary Mother of God Church, Father Sean Broderick, the pastor, and Jesus for making all this possible.
Even it out, actually. Pam yells at her. Good. Good job.
Congratulations. 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 Thank you very much.
Anthony Donadio. Anthony Donadio, a 2018 graduate of Hillsborough High School, will be attending Kutztown University on a wrestling scholarship. Anthony was a two-time District 17 champion and two-time Somerset County champion. He was named 2017 District 17 Most Outstanding Wrestling Senior with a record of 41-5. Anthony has been wrestling since first grade and wrestled for Hillsborough High School varsity wrestling team all 4 years in high school. The Township Committee recognizes and extends our sincere congratulations to Anthony for his outstanding performance on the Hillsborough High School varsity wrestling team. We commend you for the honor you have brought yourself, your team, and your community through your many achievements on and off the mat. Congratulations on deserved. I saw your dad. Oh, okay. So he misses the photo. All right, take one down. Ready? Good? Congratulations. Congratulations. Good luck at Kutztown. Kevin Faulkner. There he is. Kevin Faulkner, a 2018 graduate of Hillsborough High School, will be attending Johnson & Wales University to study criminal justice and continue wrestling. He was a member of Hillsborough High School varsity wrestling team all 4 years. Kevin was a district champion, achieving 100 career wins. He placed 8th in states and was a region finalist. He has been wrestling since 5th grade in school and continued 6th grade for the Fortify Wrestling Club. The Township Committee recognizes and extends our sincere congratulations to Kevin for his outstanding performance on the Hillsborough High School varsity wrestling team. We commend you for the honor you have brought yourself, your team, your community, and through your many achievements on and off the mat. Congratulations on your accomplishments. Mrs. Faulkner, do you want to come up for a photo? I see you back there. You might. If I know you, I might call you. Okay. Congratulations. Ashley Ferrieri. Did I say that right? Ashley Ferrier, a senior at Hillsborough High School, has been an intern in the tax assessor's office for the last 3 years. She completed many projects during her internship, including clearing outdated pictures from property record cards, updating the database for zoning designations, identifying corner properties using the tax maps, and helping with record keeping and inspection logs for the reassessment program as well as the overall help with office tasks. Ashley pursued this internship on her own during her sophomore year and has volunteered many hours each week. Ashley will be continuing her education at Rowan University Honors Program for a degree in law and justice. I know she'll be sincerely missed in the Tax Assessor Department, who is here to wish her good luck tonight. The Township Committee commends Ashley for her initiative, dedication, and hard work as an intern for the Tax Assessor's Office for the last 3 years. Thank you for all your hard work and dedication. We appreciate it. Okay, in Somerset County Youth Leadership Program, ladies, spread out. I know you're here somewhere. Hello, and gentlemen. That was just ladies. There you go. Sorry about that. There we go. Get it. The Somerset County Youth Leadership Program is a 9-month program for high school students residing in Somerset County. This program provides an understanding about civic and ethical issues in the community and emphasizes the importance of solving community issues through personal responsibility, teamwork, and principled leadership. Students are afforded the opportunity to meet and connect with adults who are leaders throughout their communities. They are also given the opportunity to practice and refine critical leadership skills and competencies. The Hillsborough Township students participating this year consist of
My name is Jamie Mani.
I'm Swara Ramaswamy.
Amy Sarauchi.
The Township Committee supports the Somerset County Youth Leadership Program and encourages high school students of Hillsborough to participate in this highly competitive leadership program. I participated in Somerset program in general, not for the youth one, but the adult program, and it is a wonderful program. If you do go online, if you do want to participate either in the adult or the youth program, I highly recommend it. It does show you what your county that you live in has out there to offer all residents, and it's really an amazing program. I'm sure you guys can attest to that. Do you have anything to say about the program itself?
The program was really good. I was able to see myself grow as both a leader and as a person, and I'd like to thank my dad and Mr. Guy for helping me get into the program, first of all. I'd also like to thank the mayor and the Township Committee for recognizing my achievement.
Yeah, I'd also like to thank the mayor and the Township Committee for recognizing this achievement, and also the Somerset Youth Leadership Program for helping me learn about opportunities and information about my community that I would not have learned otherwise, and it's really proved to be beneficial to me.
I'd also like to thank the same people they did, but also the volunteers and the many hours they put in to showing us what it means to be a leader in our community.
You can all run for office, and we'll be happy. Did you want to say?
I just take a couple minutes. I just want to tell you how this all started. I was in class of 2000 of adult leadership, which was the first leadership class in Somerset County, and our class project was to develop something, and we developed the youth leadership program. It is very competitive. I congratulate the three here. They made Hillsborough proud. We have over 600 graduates since the inception, 2001, and we get about 30 to 40 kids that we bring into the class with over 100 applications. So you can see how competitive it is. And they learn diversity, government, and many, many other things. I just want, this is one of my partners in crime here that we work together. We're there every month from September to May. Guy Catapano, he's retired from AT&T, and he's there with us all the time.
Thank you, Ron. I started 1 year after Ron working on this, and it's my passion for youth to give them the development that they need. I do want to say that it is competitive. We read all 100 applicants every time, and I've been doing it for 16 years now, but it's fun. And these young people teach us too. Trust me, we learn a lot from them, and it's really good for us to keep in touch. But I encourage anybody who's interested, either the adult program or the youth program, go online to the county website, look up leadership. The two programs are there. You can read about them. If you have any questions, our names and phone numbers are there. Please call us. And Hillsborough has always participated in this program, and you should be proud that you're taking advantage of a program that is out there. And by the way, it's free. It's free. And these young people give up one Saturday a month from September to May. They could be doing other things, but they take care of their time, and it's well worth it. Thank you.
I'd just like to thank the mayor and the committee to recognize them, giving them a proclamation, and this wouldn't be in fruition if it wasn't for the freeholders who sponsored this. That's why it's free. So thank you very much.
Thank you, and good job again, everybody. Okay, that concludes our proclamations for the evening. Congratulations to all recipients and participants of the programs that we discussed tonight. At this time, we'll take a brief pause. If you would like to leave at this time, you're more than welcome. Nice seeing everybody. Enjoy the rest of your summer if you do choose to leave, and we'll start the meeting in a few more minutes. Thank you. Ready? Go. Okay, appointments this evening is a mayoral appointment of Thomas Zobeli to the Historic Commission. He's an alternate seat number 2 for an unexpired vacant term expiring on December 31st, 2018. So I just wanted to note that's a mayoral appointment. I don't think I need any votes, right? Okay. Next, we have a very special video message from Committeeman Greg Burchett tonight. He was not able to be here, but with our new technology, we now have a video, set up from a remote location.
From the sands up.
Hi, I'm taking this opportunity to publicly announce that I will be stepping down from my position of committeeman effective Friday the 13th. I'm really worried that things can't be run smoothly without me. Kaz, I hope you got every committeeman that's on this board rolling their eyes when I said that. But seriously, things have changed in my personal life, and effective Friday, I will no longer have the Hillsborough residency requirement to be the committeeman in this town. I've been in this position for 5.5 years. I would like to thank the great residents of Hillsborough for their trust and confidence that put me here. I would like to thank the utmost professional township staff that's always done fantastic work and make me look good up here. Lastly, thank you to my fellow committeemen. Your friendship, your camaraderie has been very special. And Doug, you and I being the newbies, your advice and friendship has meant a lot to me, and thank you. I still own Bridgewater Motorworks. I'm presently the president of the Hillsborough Rotary Club. I'm very active in the Hillsborough Republican Party, so I look forward to seeing everyone around town. in this great town of Hillsborough. Thank you.
So again, committee member Shek cannot be here this evening to make that announcement, so we would give him the best that we have secondary, and there may be some comments from all of us, but I certainly want to wish him the best in his endeavors, thank him for all the time that he has put in and the things he has brought to Hillsborough Township and his time here on the town council. Are there any further comments from the dais?
Just like to echo that, Mayor. It's, you know, haven't had to go through this yet where someone's stepped down in this regard. So we'll certainly wish Greg well, and he'll be missed up on the dais here. But I hope he's happy in his new venture in life, and we'll begin the process of determining how we get to a replacement. But for now, just wish Greg the best.
I echo those sentiments. He was my running mate twice, so you get to know someone real well when you're out there campaigning those 9-10 weekends in the fall. So, you know, he definitely worked hard, you know, both as a campaigner, but also, you know, as a township committee person. So, yeah, definitely wish him the best. I know it wasn't easy, you know, that he couldn't hang on till the end of the year. It was a tough decision, but yeah, no, he will definitely be missed, and his replacement will have some big shoes to fill. So, best of luck, Greg.
Yeah, and Mayor, if I echo all the comments you've already made, and just add, I had the pleasure of having him as my deputy mayor for the 2 years that I had the privilege of serving as mayor, and you never had someone more dedicated than Greg Burchett. Shop Hillsborough was one of the things that was his baby, and he really shepherded that, along with everyone else, but he pushed that hard to get that up and running. As he mentioned, he's not going anywhere in town. He just won't be serving on the township committee anymore. He'll be missed by everyone up here. His no-nonsense, business-like approach to government, you know, sometimes made some of us cringe, but it also got the job done every single time. So I'm going to miss having him to my left for all these years, but I'm sure whoever gets to have the opportunity to fill his seat is going to be well-deserved. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, and thank you again, Greg. I'm sure we'll be seeing you. With that said, we're moving on to new business tonight. There's none at this time, but public comment on new business matters not on the agenda is next. Public hearing, please note this is for matters not already on the agenda, so it's any public comment this evening. Come up, state your name and address, and I don't see anybody coming up, so I think that we're going to move on. Oh, I'm sorry, come on up. Couldn't see you back there.
Maria Janusik, 720 East Freck Avenue, Manville, New Jersey, but I am a Hillsborough Township property owner. My husband and I own property on Camplain Road, Block 86, Lot 3, 2155 Camplain Road. I have been in touch with Mr. Ferrara and with Pamela Borek, the township clerk, and I recently wrote a letter to Committeeman Sirachi in December, and I wrote a letter to you, Mayor, in, I think it was March, and to Mr. Ferrara, and to this date, I have not received a response from anyone. And the issue I'm bringing up is the issue of the zoning of my property. My husband and I have owned that property since 1973. We bought it as a three-family house. We had 2 revaluations showing it's a 3-family house. The records from the tax assessor's office show it's a 3-family house. October of 2011, I had 4 Hillsborough Township officials come onto my property unannounced. 2 were from the Fire Safety Department in uniform. 1 was the zoning officer, David Coyce, and another gentleman from the building department. At that time, I was told that my property is being used illegally in an I-1 zone, which I didn't know. The zone was changed because my property was zoned residential when we bought it in 1973. So I was issued a zoning violation, which was unusual because although my husband and I both own it, I was the one that was given the violation. And I had to go to the courts. It cost us thousands of dollars. And then in 2015, I received a letter from the township administrator, Anthony Ferrara, stating that our property is in the LI light industrial zone. So now I was charged with a zoning violation, but the township does not to this date, has not given me the accurate zone of my property. I've asked, I've submitted Oprah requests, wrote a letter to the attorney, Mr. Willard, everyone, and to this date, I have not gotten a response. The letters I wrote, I haven't gotten a response. Oprah requests, I get strange maps that are hard to read, and so I'm bringing this here to this governing body to find out what exactly is going on with my records.
Okay. I believe the letter that you sent in to me was responded to by the office staff, so.
No, I'm sorry, excuse me, I got no response.
Mayor,
Okay.
if I may, just
Sure.
allow her to complete her public comment, and then after public comment's over, I can address the issue.
Okay.
Do you have any more comment, ma'am?
That is my issue that I am presenting to this governing
Okay.
body.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Also, there's another comment. My property is on Champlain Road. Across the street from my property is a business called Klein Recycling. In the Courier News dated June 24, 2018, there's an article that this business has been targeted in a State Commission of Investigation probe because there's been illicit trade in stolen metals. And so I also would like to know if there's going to be any kind of police presence for this business. And that's the end of my comments.
Thank you, ma'am.
Did you want to address anything?
When public comment's over. if
Okay.
anybody else has
Okay.
public comment.
Any further public comment from anyone? Okay.
Mayor, as Ms. Janasek has indicated, this dates back to 2011, October of 2011. It has to do with the zoning on her property. 2011 was well before my time, even as township attorney. But I am very familiar with the circumstance because, as Ms. Janasek has indicated, she's served. As Ms. Janasek has indicated, she served a number of Oprah requests on the township and repeated Oprah requests. What happened back in 2011 was there was a report of there being a zoning violation, a property being used as a three-family zone. David Coyce investigated. He was the zoning officer at the time, and Mr. Coyce did in fact find that that was occurring. As you know, Mark Anderson is the land use board attorney, and also he is designated by the township to prosecute zoning violations, and that went to the municipal court. As Ms. Janasek has also indicated, back in April of 2015, this is when I was the township attorney, she had made a number of inquiries to the township regarding the zoning on her property. As a matter of fact, she continued to submit these Oprah's requests, and so Mr. Ferrer went out of his way to have Mr. Anderson and himself get together and answer each and every one of her questions. And it was a rather lengthy letter, and it answered each and every one of her questions regarding the zoning on her property. So we're now to the point where this continues. It's not a question of nobody answering her question. It's the same questions being asked over and over again and not liking the answer. So the answer's been clear from the beginning that the only zoning on this property was, it was a single-family residence, and that was grandfathered in, but now the zoning has changed to light industrial. So the answer to her questions has been, again, painstakingly provided by the township over and over again. The April of 2015 letter from Mr. Ferreira, again, great detail, answered every single one of those questions. So now we're at the point where there's nothing further to offer. So repeated requests to yourself, prior mayor, or anybody on the township committee, or other staff for a different answer. At this point in time, there's nothing else to respond. There's no further information to give. And that's where we stand.
Mayor, can I just ask the one question of the attorney? Was she found guilty at the?
The standard was beyond a reasonable doubt for us to prove a zoning violation, so the judge found that he couldn't determine it beyond a reasonable doubt. So from beyond a reasonable doubt standard, he found he couldn't find guilt. So, matter of fact, because of that, she's continued to use the property as a three-family.
Okay.
But it's in the LI zone.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
If you have a comment, Ms. Janasek, you need to come to the microphone, please.
No, public comments over.
I'm sorry, actually, public comment's over, but I believe Deputy Mayor Thompson, she couldn't hear you.
Okay, you couldn't hear me? I'm sorry. My question.
I couldn't hear half of what the attorney said, and I couldn't hear half of what you said, and
Well, I'll clarify.
I cannot rebut what was just said. My
Correct.
question
I
is,
just-
why, Am I not
Ma'am.
told if the zone is I-1 light industrial or LI light industrial? I sent a letter to Mr. Willard asking that question, and I never got a response. He wrote me a
Okay, I'm
letter,
gonna-
I wrote it back, I said, is it LI light industrial or is it I-1 light industrial? And I did not get a response back.
Okay, I'm going to speak clearer into the microphone so I can ask my question again, because I do believe public comment's over, but I'm going to ask my question again to make sure you can hear it. And it was simply, what was the status or the outcome of the court hearing that you were charged with? So that's what I asked Mr. Willard.
But
So-
you see,
No,
no
but
one listened
I-
to my question initially, and it is
No,
my
I-
property zoned LI light industrial, or is it zoned I-1 light industrial? Because that is keeping my property in limbo, and I was charged with a zoning violation. So please, someone tell me, is it I-1 or is it LI? Because I have two different records.
Okay, well, we will follow up with that. Obviously, I don't have any maps in front of me directly, so I will talk with our staff, and we will try to determine that's the case. If it's not our responsibility to determine, then we'll send it to the proper authority. Regarding the Klein Metal across the street, that is a police matter, I believe, and we followed up if there's anything ongoing. We're not aware of that by the Township Committee. Doesn't deal with the police, problems over with Klein Metals. But you can talk to the chief of police if you like about it. Okay, but thank you. I did see the article myself, but we have no jurisdiction there. Moving on to public hearings, 2018-07 is an ordinance amending Chapter 172 of the Code of the Township of Hillsborough titled Flood Damage Prevention. This ordinance simply clarifies some of the language in this ordinance. May I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance 2018-07?
Move to open.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Any discussion? Discussion from the floor? Okay. May I have,
No,
may I have a
she raised her hand.
roll call, please?
No, no, she raised her hand.
I'm sorry.
We're not up to resolutions, we're on an ordinance, a public hearing for ordinance number 2018-07.
Yes.
That one ordinance, yes, ma'am.
Roll call, please.
We're going to move to close.
Okay. Now roll call.
Motion to close and adopt.
Okay. May I have a motion to close and adopt this public hearing on this ordinance,
Motion to
please?
close and adopt.
Second.
Roll call.
Cameron Delcor.
Yes.
Cameron Sarachi.
Yes.
Mayor Thompson.
Yes.
Mayor McCauley.
Yes, thank you. Moving on to public hearing for ordinance 2018-08, an ordinance amending Chapter 166, Fire Prevention, Sections 166-14, Permit Fees, and 166-15, Certificate of Smoke Detector and Carbon Monoxide Compliance of the Township Code of the Township of Hillsborough, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey. May I have a motion to open the public hearing on this ordinance, 2018-08?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No opposed, right? Any discussion from the dais? No? Okay. Any discussion from the floor? May I have a motion to close public hearing and adopt ordinance 2018-08?
Move to close and adopt.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Cameron Delcor.
There's an echo in here.
Yes.
Cameron Sarachi.
Yes.
Mayor Thompson.
Yes.
Mayor McCauley.
Yes, thank you. We have a few new ordinance for introduction this evening. The first one, 2018-09, is an ordinance amending Chapter 143, Vehicles and Traffic, Schedule 143-31, Schedule 2, No Parking Certain Hours of the Township Code of the Township of Hillsborough, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey. Further consideration of this ordinance and public hearing will be held on August 14th, 2018. This ordinance amends a section of the Township Code permitting parking on certain residential streets contained herein the amendment. May I have a motion to introduce this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any comments, Ms. Dias? From the floor? Okay. Roll call,
Yeah,
please.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry. I couldn't see behind the camera, so you might have to...
Maria Janusik, 720 East Freck Avenue, Manville, New Jersey, Hillsborough property owner. No parking certain hours, what are you talking about? Which area of Hillsborough?
There's a list of roadways. Right, Pam, do you have them?
Physical ordinance.
In the ordinance, Mayor, there's, we're only deleting where it says no parking on Magdalene, Nottingham Way, and Sherwood Close.
Right.
To allow the residents to have parking there off, on the street parking.
It's just clarifying some streets that we had written in the ordinance in the past for certain parking privileges.
Okay, so that's specific only to that?
Yes,
All right, thank you.
you're welcome. Thank you. May I have a roll call, please?
Committeeman Burchett. Oh, I'm sorry, Committeeman Delcor.
Yes.
Committeeman Sirachi.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Thompson.
Yes.
Mayor McCauley.
Yes. Ordinance 2018-10, an ordinance amending Chapter 143, Vehicles and Traffic, Article 12 Schedule, Section 143-42, Schedule 13 Bus Stops of the Code of the Township of Hillsborough, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey. Further consideration of this ordinance and public hearing will be held on August 14th, 2018. This ordinance amends a location of one of our bus stops that were slated on Triangle Road. I think we're slightly moving that location, and we wanted to amend the ordinance. May I have a motion to introduce, please?
So moved.
Thank you. Second?
You two got a second it now. No? You two both tied on the motion.
You move.
Can I have somebody for a second?
Second.
Thank you.
There you go.
Okay. Any comments from the dais? Any from the floor? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Delcor.
Yes.
Sorry. Committeeman Sirachi.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Thompson.
Yes.
Mayor McCauley.
Yes. 2018-11 is an ordinance authorizing the acceptance of deed of dedication of the right-of-way for the property identified on the Hillsborough Township tax map as Block 202, Lots 8 and 8.01. Further consideration of this ordinance and public hearing will be held on August 14th, 2018. This is a requirement of the planning board process, as has been reviewed and found acceptable by the township attorney. Municipal land use law requires an ordinance to effectuate the acceptance of property. May I have a motion to introduce this ordinance?
So moved.
Thank you.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments from the dais? Any comments from the floor? Okay. Roll call, please.
Committeeman Delcor.
Yes.
Committeeman Sirachi.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Thompson.
Yes.
And Mayor McCauley.
Yes, thank you. 2018-12 is an ordinance authorizing acceptance of deed of dedication of the right-of-way for the property identified on the Hillsborough Township tax map as Block 11, Lot 57. Further consideration on this ordinance and public hearing will be held on August 14th, 2018. Again, this has been reviewed and found acceptable by our township attorney. May I have a motion to introduce this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any comments from the dais? Any from the floor? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Delcor.
Yes.
Committeeman Sirachi.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Thompson.
Yes.
Mayor McCauley.
Yes. 2018-13, an ordinance appropriating certain monies held by the Township of Hillsborough, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey, for the purchase of various capital improvements in the amount of $479,000 in and for the Township of Hillsborough. Further consideration of this ordinance and public hearing will be held on August 14th, 2018. This ordinance is for those necessary items recommended as high priority by the Capital Planning Committee. Their purchases are based on what is available from developer offsite contributions, as well as the Capital Improvement Fund. May I have a motion to introduce this ordinance?
Mayor, I'd like to introduce, but we just want to make note of correction on the total amount, because we added back in the traffic signal. So the total is
Oh, okay.
$575,000.
Okay.
It's correct on the ordinance.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes, just your title.
Just in the agenda.
Okay, no, the agenda was right. Your comments, I apologize.
That's
Well-
okay. Is that noted?
The ordinance was correct, the agenda was off.
Noted? Okay.
Correct. It's 575.
Right.
570, okay. With the correction of 575, may I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Any comments from the dais besides that?
Yes, Mayor, I just want to highlight, I was liaison to capital planning. Just know they did review many requests over the course of several meetings, and as you had mentioned, these were the top priority. Most of them are safety-related, such as sidewalk replacements, and as that traffic signal, anyone that knows that goes from Triangle Road to Lawton Road at an intersection can sometimes be quite perilous, making that left turn, so it's installing a left turn signal in there, so much needed improvement in there. And
Can I
then
say yay?
we can do a wave. So, and also replacing some aging wooden guardrails with more, obviously, modern steel ones. So, I highly recommend the approval of this list. Again, it's going along, mainly for safety improvements, throughout the township.
Okay, thank you, and thank you for your work on the capital
Planning.
commission, capital planning this year. So I think I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second if I didn't already.
Thank you. Any more comments?
No, we're already done, I just need comments.
Okay, no comments from the floor? Come on up.
Maria Janusik. So the actual amount for this ordinance 2018-13 is 579,000?
575.
575?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so is this going to be, this is a public hearing on this today, right?
No, it's
No, public hearing's on the 14th.
Public hearing will be on the
Yeah, and we'll
14th.
have it corrected on the notes by then. It's correct on the actual ordinance itself, but in my notes, it was re-added. We were going back and forth with some things and didn't
So
finalize.
where do you have the actual, what this specifics of where this money is going to be going, what it's going to be going
It's listed on the
towards?
ordinance, actually. You should have the list of what the capital improvements are, if you have the right notes. I'm not sure if you do. There should be a copy in the back.
There should be a copy of the ordinance in the back there?
Well, there were, but now there aren't. I don't think there's any.
Oh, if there isn't, we can provide you with one.
It'll be on the township website tomorrow.
Okay, and now, so where does this money come from? Do you have specific funds set aside in the township that this money would be allocated from?
Yes, we have capital improvement funds that we allocate every year.
So initially, when you did the budget, this was not part of the budget?
It's separate than the budget. Mhm.
Separate from the budget?
Right.
And it's going to be coming out of the capital improvements?
That's correct.
Okay, and it's 500, what, 75?
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I actually think that's it for introductions tonight.
I need a roll call.
Sorry, may I have a roll call?
Committeeman Zocor,
Yes.
Committeeman Sarachi,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Thompson,
Yes.
Mayor McCauley.
Yes, thank you. Keep me in check over there. Moving on to considerations tonight. Consideration number 1 is a resolution authorizing the hiring of Ronald Miller as a plumbing inspector in the Township Building Department effective July 11th at a salary of $62,000. There exists a current vacancy. They had gone through, I think, Ferreira, business administrator, and the department heads who recommended them, him, I should say, at this point, and it fills that vacancy. So may I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any comments, Nadeas?
Sure, Mayor, thank you. So this is going to be one of 4 very important hires this evening. Once we get through all the considerations, the building department will be fully staffed, so I'm very happy about that. We've gone through the process, myself and Mr. Fiedler and his team, and bringing the best people in here, so it has been weeks, but we're confident that we're bringing in the right people with the customer care background, the business background that we need here in Hillsborough. So Mr. Miller is the first of 4 this evening. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any further comment? Any comments from the floor?
Maria Janusik. You have specific names. Were these jobs posted? Were these positions posted out to the public?
Yes, we have a process of posting every vacancy in the township.
So, okay, so then, do you have any documentation of when it was posted or any of that, where it
Yeah,
was posted?
So these are posted internal by union. They have to go up for 5 days on
I'm
the
sorry,
bulletin.
internal by what?
They have to go internally on the bulletin board here by union
By
rules.
union?
And then it goes out to the public. So we put it on the township website. We typically go to, especially in the building department, Mr. Fiedler, who sits on the construction code official for the state, it goes up on his website. We pay to put it up on the league. We send it out through various media, including our e-news. And we actually went out of our way this time to put some really nice marketing materials about the position and the benefits and everything else. So I don't know, other than putting it in the sky rating in a plane, I'm not sure else how we could put that position out there.
Okay, so.
And I actually handed it out at the governor's executive board to all of the unions throughout the state as well. So,
Okay, no, I just wanted to know how this
Sure.
process is done. So were these people were internal or they were hired from the outside?
which one are you talking about?
Well, actually, I think there's a-
I think only talk-
I don't want to come back for every
We can only talk
resolution.
about Mr. Miller, so Mr. Miller, since we're talking about consideration number one, that would be an outside hire.
Outside hire, and how
Correct.
about this, we're not
Wait,
on that
wait,
resolution?
we're not on that one yet. I'll
Not on
just
that
see in
one
a-
yet.
in a couple
All right, so that
seconds.
one was an outside hire. When you come up with that second resolution, if you could just mention what that is, so I don't have to come up again.
Sure.
Sure.
Thank you.
Roll call, please. I think I had a second. Do I have a second?
Committeeman Delfor.
Did I say that?
Yes.
Committeeman Sarachi.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Thompson.
Yes.
Mayor McCauley.
Yes, thank you. Consideration number 2 is a resolution authorizing the hiring of Mark Jandoli as part-time building inspector for the Hillsborough Township Building Department effective July 11th, 2018, at the rate of $30 an hour, not to exceed 29 hours per week. There currently exists a vacancy in the position of building inspector that fills that vacancy, and as Mr. Ferrera had stated, same process. This was an outside hire. May I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
Any comments from the dais? Any from the floor? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Delfor.
Yes.
Committeeman Sarachi.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Thompson.
Yes.
And Mayor McCauley.
Yes. Consideration number 3 is a resolution authorizing the lease purchase of 2 2019 Chevrolet Impala unmarked police vehicles from Hertrick Fleet in an amount not to exceed $41,913 with lease payments through Ford Credit in the amount of $9,545.14 per year for 5 years through the New Jersey State Contract A86922. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any comments from the dais? Any comments from the floor? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Delfor.
Yes.
Committeeman Sarachi.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Thompson.
Yes.
And Mayor McCauley.
Yes, thank you. Consideration number 4 is a resolution of the Township of Hillsborough determining the study area comprised of the properties identified on the official tax map of the township as Block 86, Lot 21, and Block 90, Lot 6.01. The study area is an area in need of rehabilitation under the local redevelopment and housing law. Our township planner, David Maskey, is here to provide some comments regarding this area. Thank you for joining us. Oh, no. Here, you want to sit over here?
Thank you for your comment with that
Yes, sir,
microphone.
yes.
Thank you.
Or if you preferred, Mr. Maskey, you could take the microphone from the floor. Might be easier.
Okay, thank you. As the committee knows, you forwarded a proposed resolution to the planning board last month that would designate the so-called Sherman Tract as an area in need of rehabilitation pursuant to the local redevelopment and housing law. The planning board reviewed the resolution at their meeting of June 28th, and the board had no objections to the designation of the tract as an area in need of rehabilitation. So with that said, I'd like to provide you with a brief overview of the property, the process, and the findings of the investigation report. So I'll draw your attention to the 2 exhibits that I've placed up on the board, on the wall. Figure 1 outlines the Sherman Tract in red on the tax map. It's bounded by Champlain Road to the north, although there was no actual frontage on Champlain, South 20th to the east, and the Manville border, Royceburg to the south, and again the Manville border, and the dead ends of Garfield, Grant, Jackson, and Adams Street to the west. Sunnymead would be further to the west, just off the map. The tract is comprised of 2 tax lots, Lot 21 in Block 86, which is this larger tract, which includes 62 acres, and Lot 601 in Block 90, which has 3 acres. The combined 65-acre tract is owned by the township. Figure 2 provides an aerial view of the tract. As you can see, it is completely vacant, both parcels. Wetlands, floodplains, and DRCC buffers associated with Royce Brook cover the southern one-third of the tract. And you can see that outlined on the tax map. This line here is the DRCC buffer area. This is all within a wetlands buffer for the Royce Brook at the southern end of the tract. The Copart facility is just visible to the north here. Residential properties to the east and the south and the west surround the parcel. As to the process, the area in need of rehabilitation designation is being done under the Local Redevelopment and Housing Law, the LRHL. It is important to point out, however, that although a rehabilitation designation permits the township to use the powers granted by the LRHL, it should not be confused with an area in need of redevelopment designation, which must meet a more stringent set of criteria and may trigger eminent domain powers. That is not the case here. In accordance with the Local Redevelopment and Housing Law, the rehabilitation designation will be followed up with the adoption of a redevelopment plan by the committee, which will govern the future development of the property. The planning board will again have the opportunity to review that plan before it's adopted by the committee. The findings of the investigation report, which the resolution is based on. An area may be determined to be in need of rehabilitation if it meets at least one of 6 criteria found in the LRHL. The investigation report found that the Sherman Tract satisfies criterion number 3, and that there is a pattern of vacancy, abandonment, or underutilization associated with the property. This finding is based on the development history of the property, which is detailed in the investigation report. In short, there's a long history of proposals and township approvals for both residential and industrial development in the study area dating back over 90 years. Starting with a 1,200-lot, 30-block subdivision in 1926 called Park Plaza, which would have filled the entire tract up to Champlain and out to 20th. That was followed by several proposals and approvals. There was a 14-lot industrial park subdivision that was approved, and most recently, a 232-unit restricted development was approved in 2006. As you know, none of those development proposals were ever built out, and the study area remains vacant. This condition continues in spite of the relatively robust development that has taken place in the surrounding neighborhoods, particularly in Manville, over the years, and the fact that the study area is located in the sewer service area. So with the adoption of the resolution before you, the committee would be designating the Sherman Tract as an area in need of rehabilitation and authorizing the preparation of a redevelopment plan for the area. That would be the next step. So at this point, I'd be happy to take any questions from the committee.
Any questions? Any questions? I think we're good. Thank you for that information. I'm obviously familiar with it, but it's an important piece to pass if we want to redevelop it. So may I have a motion, please, to pass this resolution?
So moved?
Second.
Thank you. Any comments from the dais?
No. Anyone from the public?
We didn't get there yet.
Yeah, we're getting there. What's next?
Seriously, you don't know the drill by now? No comments from the dais. Are there comments from the floor?
David, you gotta, yep.
You want to? Oh, yeah. Do you want to announce that yet? Yeah, okay.
Meryl Bisberg, 4 Hickory Hill Road. I heard you say that at one time this was approved for a 232-unit restricted development. Do you mean age
Mrs.
restricted?
Bisberg, you need to speak into the microphone, please.
Okay.
Sorry.
So I'm just clarifying, because he said a 232-unit restricted development. That it was age restricted. Okay. And I think you mentioned, but for edification, that there's an LRHL rule, or an LRHL.
Local Redevelopment and Housing.
Yeah, I understood the abbreviation, but the area in need of rehabilitation pursuant to LRHL is different than an area in need of rehabilitation?
Yes.
Okay. So I know that in the past, both with Apex, with Ammo Road West, there was an area in need of rehabilitation. So can you explain how the rules are different for these two?
Sure. The Apex site, which is actually the county park, that southern parcel of the old Belmead Army Depot, that's an area in need of redevelopment. And simply put, to designate an area in need of redevelopment, you have to show blighting conditions, situation or conditions that are detrimental to the public welfare. And there's 6 or 8 different criteria that you have to meet. So it's a more stringent process to designate it. The area in need of rehabilitation, it is not as stringent. You don't have to prove blight per se. It's just that the area is in such a situation where a concerted program of rehabilitation, new construction would uplift the area. It's not blighted, in other words.
Okay. When the 232 age-restricted development was proposed, I didn't catch the year.
I believe it was 2006, either 6 or 8.
Do you know why it wasn't built?
The developer just walked away from it.
Okay. Was that under COA, do you know, at the time? Would that have been under COA?
There was 24 of those units would have been affordable, but it wasn't necessarily an affordable housing project per se.
Okay. All right, that's it.
Thanks. And again, keep in mind, this is for comment, not question and answer. Thanks.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. It's comment,
Public
not question and
comment,
answer?
comment. Right, that's correct.
This is someone witness that we can ask questions.
It's a resolution, but he's not a witness. He's one of our,
Well, I'm sorry, but
Department
the lady just before me asked questions and was given answers. Now I can't ask questions.
It's not a question and answer, it's a comment section, so just try and keep it short, okay? Thank
Okay.
you.
Maria Janusik. My property adjoins Block 86, Lot 21. It's right behind me. Okay. Now,
Up in here.
off of Camp Lane Road.
Right.
Okay. That property behind us is wetlands. Why does that need rehabilitation? What does DRC mean?
I'm sorry.
What-
Delaware.
Delaware Raritan Canal.
Commission.
Okay. There's a lot of wetlands there. I know that back in like the late 1990s, someone wanted to build there, and there were a lot of restrictions, a lot of issues because of the wetlands and the habitats of different creatures, species that are over there. So why is this area in need of rehabilitation?
Yes, there are wetlands in there. As I mentioned, the southern 1/3 are within wetlands of the Royce Brook, and they are restricted by the Delaware Raritan Canal Commission. The redevelopment plan would lay out any stipulations that regarding the wetlands and how they'd have to be protected from any type of development activity.
Now, last year, I had spoken with Glenn Belnay, in the health department, and I had gotten copies of CME Associates reports, and in those reports, it said that there is contamination, groundwater contamination. That area had been a Superfund site, and there is contamination again. Now, there's Klein Recycling, and there is Copart. And I don't know what kind of oversight, environmental oversight there is over those properties, but contamination is an issue. So has the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection been notified of the contamination issue?
I've read both of those reports, and I didn't see anything in there about excessive or any groundwater contamination. I spoke to Dr. Belnay about it as well.
That is correct. That is correct. I read those reports as
Okay,
well.
all right.
That is not true. No, you just can't say things like that. It's not true. Dr. Belnay reviewed the reports. We saw the reports. An independent consultant read them. So you can't be saying that. Just because you say things doesn't make it true.
Okay.
So you said you spoke
Fine.
to Dr.
I
Belnay and he
understand
said
you
it was
told,
contaminated.
you
He
have
didn't tell you
previously
that.
told me that just because I say something doesn't make it true.
Correct.
However, I can bring, had I known that you're going to tell me just because you say so doesn't
No,
make
you
it
said
true,
Dr.
I
Belnay
would
said it
bring
was
that.
contaminated.
No,
And there
no,
was a problem
Dr.
with it.
Belnay didn't say it. It's in this SCME report. I received a
Ms.
copy
Janising, I can
of the
guarantee
initial.
you that if we do move forward with any kind of
And s-
development, it will go through the proper channels, the planning board, et
But
cetera.
I had
so-
asked Dr. Belnay last year, being that my property is there, and it said in the report that there is groundwater contamination. I had submitted a request for government records through the Open Public Records Act to Glenn Belnay and never received a response. And I had asked.
isn't here to make
and I
that
had
statement,
asked-
so
And I
we'll
had
follow up.
asked him why, I asked him has Hillsborough contacted the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection regarding the contamination that is reported in that CME report?
Okay, so you
So
asked him that question, so you've received your answer, right?
I
Or
did not. I
Okay.
submitted an Oprah request to him
Okay.
and did not receive an answer.
Mayor,
I
if
had
I may.
gone in person and with my husband to speak with Dr. BELLE, and he gave me...
You are
he
free
showed
to
us
reach out to
that-
the DEP as well and get the information from them. If
Well, but-
you're
but-
concerned about whether they know or not, because whatever we tell you, you're not going to believe anyway. So if you'd like, please feel free to call the DEP and ask them if they are aware of any contamination on the property.
What I would like to know is, did Hillsborough notify the DEP? Because you have a report. Hillsborough paid a lot of money. Last year, I believe there were 3 reports presented by CME. One was for like $48,000, one was something like $90,000 was paid to CME. You have reports. In that report, it stated that had been publicly funded cleanup, and there's groundwater contamination. So before you can talk about building in a area of wetlands, you need to see what's going on over there.
Okay.
My next question is, who owns that who
Hold
owns
on.
this property?
Okay. This is not a planning board.
But-
I
but-
know you're used to going to the planning board and receiving questions, so since you're bringing it to my attention, I will follow up with Glenn Belnay, okay?
Okay. Now, this property, I think Mr. Maskey stated, it's owned by Hillsborough?
That's correct.
Okay, but it's called the Sherman property because Sherman were the owners. When did Hillsborough acquire this property?
Do we have a date?
I don't know offhand.
Don't have the date.
Don't have the date at hand. You can find
Excuse
out.
me?
We don't have the exact date that it was inquired, so
What
we
was
can
the
find out for
question?
you.
When the
What
property
date
was
we
acquired.
actually...
When did Hillsborough acquire this property from the Sherman
Yeah,
brothers?
I'm not sure of the exact date.
Yes, it is. I'm a property owner there, all kinds of stuff going on, and I don't hear anything. I bought a property that was zoned residential, and then I get officials telling me that I'm violating zoning ordinance.
We're happy to get you that date. We don't have it off the top of our head.
Okay. Because that's an important issue. That should be in the records. If that property was purchased by Hillsborough,
I can assure
that should
you,
be in
if
the
that is the
records.
case, it's in the records.
Okay,
Okay?
so
We do
what do I-
record everything here at the township
What do I
office.
need to do
We
to
will
get those
back to you.
records?
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
And I would appreciate it, because
said it
like I
10
said, I have
times.
written letters, and
Okay.
no one's gotten back to me.
I heard you the first time.
Thank you.
We'll get back to you. Okay?
Mayor,
I'll take it. Any further questions?
Yeah, another one in the back.
And keep in mind, the question or comment is only specific to this resolution.
Eva Janusik, 720 East Freck Avenue,
I'm sorry, what
Manville.
was your
I'm
name
sorry.
again? I didn't catch your
Eva Janusik, 720 East Freck Avenue, Manville. What is the zone of this property?
I-1.
Thank you.
Any further questions? Or comment, I should say? Bill, did you want me to? what?
well, just finish public comment.
Merrill Bisberg, 4 Hickory Hill Road. If this property is deemed, after the study, to be in need of rehabilitation, does this come back for an ordinance? Because I believed in the past this was ordained by the Township Committee when it's been this situation.
That's one of the differences between redevelopment areas and rehabilitation. Redevelopment areas are adopted by ordinance, rehabilitation by resolution. The subsequent redevelopment plan that has yet to be prepared, that would be adopted by ordinance.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
Okay, any more comments from the dais or the floor? No?
Mayor,
Good?
just as a
Sorry.
quick
Oh,
point
sorry.
of
Yes.
clarification, based upon the comments by Ms. Janusik, I think she asked, number one, she asked Dr. Belnay, he didn't respond, about an Oprah request, whether we reported any contamination regarding the property to the NJDEP. I think there's 2 answers to that question. Number one, that's not an Oprah request, because an Oprah request is a request for a document. But number 2, the planner, Mr. Maskey, has just indicated that he read the reports, then he didn't find any contamination indicated in any of those reports, so I don't see what would be there to report to the NJDEP about a report that he read that didn't contain any evidence of water contamination. So I think that's the answer to the
Okay,
question.
my follow-up with Mr. Belnay would simply be, if he had stated that. He's not here to make that statement or answer that question, so I will ask him personally. Otherwise, you are correct. If there is no contamination, there is no reason to go to the DEP, but if we do find otherwise, we'll address it at that time. Okay? All right, thank you. Roll call?
Committeeman Delcor.
Yes.
Committeeman Sarachi.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Thompson.
Yes, but Mayor, I just want to make one quick comment, and I will be brief, but I just have to circle back to the conversation I have every 2 weeks, or once a month, or every 2 months here, that the complete inaction of the legislature and the governor before him, and the governor before him, and before him, and then before her, have not taken any action to protect Hillsborough or any municipality from affordable housing. This is what this all comes back to. And it is not a Democrat issue. It is not a Republican issue. It's an issue that every single suburban municipality, regardless of what your town's makeup is dealing with right now. That's the reality. So I beseech Governor Murphy, Senator Bateman, Assemblyman Fryman, and Assemblyman Zwicker to help us in any way possible. And again, not Republican, not Democrat. We're represented by both here in this town. So something's got to give, because we're here every couple of weeks talking about having to rezone things for affordable housing, and there doesn't seem to be an end in sight. So I just beseech them to do anything to help suburban municipalities in this state. So, thank you.
Thank you. I agree.
And Mayor McCauley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to consideration number 5 is a resolution authorizing the hiring of Matthew Pressey as an electrical inspector in the Township Building Department effective July 11, 2018, at a salary of $62,000. There exists a current vacancy in the building department, and this fills that vacancy. This is also an outside hire.
Outside hire.
And just, you heard me right, I can't see her back there. Okay, may I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Thank you. Any comments from the dais? Any from the floor? Okay. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Committeeman Delcor.
I know.
Committeeman Delcor.
Yes.
Committeeman Sarachi.
Yes.
Committeeman Deputy Mayor Thompson.
Yes.
Mayor McCauley.
Yes. Thank you. Consideration number 6 is a resolution authorizing the hiring of Sara McLaurin as a technical assistant in the Township Building Department effective July 11, 2018, at a salary of $35,000. There exists a vacancy here, and that will be filled by hiring Sara this evening. She is here. I want to say hello. Thank you for coming tonight. And Kaz always gets you on camera, so just a quick smile from you. Thank you. And this is an internal hire, okay? May I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Any comments from the dais?
I do, thank you. So, very pleased to move Sarah from part-time to full-time, as we do here in the township through all the training that we have. It's great to have folks internally. Sarah's gone through the technical assistance training certification, which is critical to the position, with customer service and the other training she's had. So it's nice to move someone right into that position. And again, having that year experience and the additional training to move her in there. Also appreciate Ed coming out, our fire subcode official as well, coming out this evening and supporting that hire as well.
Thank you, Ed.
So Mr. Fiedler and the team and Ed and the rest support that as well. So with this hire, we'll now be full-time in the building department. And I can tell you, I think that's probably the first time in my 6 years as the administrator, and I'm very happy to have the building department full-time so we can get to all the work we have to get done here in the township. Thank you.
Yes. We do have a very busy building department. We appreciate everyone who wants to come and work with us. Thank you again for being here tonight and all the hard work you've done already. So appreciate it. May I have any other comments from the dais? Any comments from the floor? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Delcor.
Congratulations, yes.
Committeeman Sarachi.
Yes, welcome aboard.
Deputy Mayor Thompson.
Yes, congratulations.
And Mayor McCauley.
Yes. Thank you. All right, moving on to the consent agenda this evening. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved, Mayor?
Second.
Thank you. Any comments from the dais? Any comments from the floor? All right, roll call, please.
Committeeman Delcor.
Yes.
Committeeman Sarachi.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Thompson.
Yes.
And Mayor McCauley.
Yes, thank you. There are two claims lists to approve this evening. Claims list 2018-12. May I have a motion to approve the claims list, please?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any comments, Nadeas? Any from the floor?
Maria Janusik. I'm sorry, I haven't been here before, so I'm not sure of what is the claims list?
It's the same as a bill list, Maria. It's like a bill list, the vouchers, like in your, in the borough where you live, the voucher list, it's the same thing. It's a bill list.
Okay, so where would the...
Expenditures for the township.
Where is the information regarding this claims list? What's on this claims list?
It's
Where is
listed in the
that?
notes, in the
Is it-
back.
It's where?
Listed in the back of the room. Usually, all of our meeting notes actually are always put out into the back of
Okay,
the
when I
room,
ca-
so
Oh, okay.
you can
When I
grab it from the
came in,
table,
there
it'll
were
list them
things
for you.
missing. All right,
Mhm.
Then maybe I might find them. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
I didn't realize that you had asked about the consent list, because I did have a question on that, but
Sure.
You can ask me after the meeting if you'd like.
after the meeting?
We'll be here, yeah.
All right, thank you.
I'm almost done. I think we had a second.
We have executive session, she'll have to wait until after that. If that's what you'd like to do.
Oh, you want me to do the second one, too?
No, I need a roll call on this, but I'm saying after the
Right.
meeting, we're not done, we have executive.
Oh, no, I know, I meant after we complete the first. Okay, roll call, please.
Karen Delcor,
Yes.
Maureen Sarachi.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Thompson,
Yes.
and Mayor McCauley.
Yes, thank you. And we have another claims list tonight, 2018-13. May I have a motion to approve that claims list, please?
So moved, Mayor.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Any comments from the dais? From the floor? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Delcor.
Yes.
Committeeman Sarachi.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Thompson,
Yes.
Mayor McCauley.
Yes, this does conclude our regular meeting tonight. We do have an executive session this evening. Will the clerk please read the resolution?
Whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231 of the Public Law of 1975 permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas the Township Committee is of the opinion that such circumstances exist, now therefore be resolved by the Township Committee of the Township of Hillsborough and the County of Somerset, State of New Jersey as follows. The public shall be excluded from the discussion of the herein after specified subject matter. Number 2, the general nature of the subject matter to be discussed is as follows: contract negotiations, Board of Education, GSA North Parcel, and number 2, attorney-client privilege advice on legislation. Number 3, the Township Committee may take official action on those items discussed in executive session upon the completion of the executive session. Number 4, the minutes of those discussions shall be made available to the public as soon as the nature is no longer confidential or sensitive, and this resolution may take effect immediately.
Okay, thank you. May I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Any comments from the dais? Any from the floor? Okay. Roll call, please.
Committeeman Delcor.
Yes.
Committeeman Sarachi.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Thompson.
Yes.
And Mayor McCauley.
Yes, we will now move into executive session. Thank you, and have a nice evening.